Mell and Oscar, please come to the stand.
Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, excuse me.
No, we sorted this out ages ago. No, I'm going first.
You're going for mine.
I'm told.
Why are you doing this now? This graduation is really serious, okay? Just give a coin or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Wow, okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shoot. Who's heads and tails?
All right. Heads,
All right.
you go. Tails, you go.
Okay.
Oh, it's you.
Before we begin, I think I'll just take this up. And we'd like to say our own warm welcome to all of the parents and teachers and, of course, the class of 2012. Today we celebrate a milestone in all of our lives. What is the end of a long journey for us, 14 years here at ACS, and of course the end of high school and the start of a new chapter, which is real life.
Ah, school. You get your heart broken, your brain fried, your stomach pumped, and yet we're all here in one piece. Although I'm pretty sure that the IB examiner who gets my math paper too is going to find attached a little piece of my soul with me.
So what have we learned from school? I think that one of the most important things is to think independently. The aim of school is not to teach you how to regurgitate facts on demand, but how to interpret and connect with knowledge in a meaningful way. And once you've done that, the most important thing of all is to develop your own ideas and question what you've been taught. And this is how you learn, and it's the most important part of learning, in my opinion. My earliest memory of misinterpreting some things from lower school. My teacher asked me to read a passage from a story in which a primary school teacher is watching over her class of children talking loudly during a milk break, and she puts her finger to her mouth. And so my teacher then said, "So what do you think this means?" And I said, "Well, of course she's wiping away the milk from her mouth." And at that point I got put in learning support. And clearly I focused on the fact that they were drinking milk rather than it was a noisy class. But I remember very clearly wondering what was wrong with my answer. It wasn't like it was completely illogical what I said. It was just another way of looking at things. I interpreted the information in my own way. And really, I think that multiple perspectives can be taken on most situations in life. There's just rarely one correct answer.
Well, I've got a story too. I've got plenty of these stories. So we're in middle school, and it's health class, and we're learning about bullying, of course. And we have to look at these little role plays. And I happen to disagree with my teacher over her interpretation of one of these sketches, purely a matter of opinion. So I raise my hand, argue my case, and after a bit of back and forth, the teacher decides to settle the matter by effectively saying to the class, okay, raise your hands. Who thinks she's right? And now, who thinks I'm right? Don't let people get away with that. If we live in a world where votes matter more than arguments, well, that has to change. What I learned that day, and many other days besides, is that people like others to think the way they think, and people like to be led. It's not always bad, it's just mostly bad. You are no longer middle schoolers. And I hope that no matter how many people raise their hand against yours, you'll still say what you think and stand up for what you think, because if you don't, then you'll never really know what it is that you think. And what you think, in the end, is what's going to distinguish you from all your future peers, who may all have the same qualifications as you, but will certainly not have the same mind as you. Independence of thought is a quality you can have, and you do have, regardless of what grade you get. And I think it is the most crucial quality there is, because sometimes what gets me most is not so much that terrible and stupid things happen in the world, but that people let them happen. Because everybody raised their hand, and nobody used their brain. So use your brain, then raise your hand. argue your case, listen to others argue their case, see if you change your mind, raise your hand again and again. Because that, I think, must be somehow the way that progress might happen, hopefully.
On the other hand, isn't a big part of this learning about not knowing what you're doing at all? At the end of every school year, expected to have a better grasp on what you're doing, and certainly with recent exam pressures, we've all felt the need to know what we're doing, believe in our abilities, and be confident about what we know. In real life, however, our knowledge today will seem a drop in the ocean. You can't possibly know everything there is to know in the world, so isn't school, to some extent, about learning how to wing it? There's always going to be situations that take you by surprise and leave you using your resources and thinking on your toes, when you just don't know what the right answer is or what the correct thing to do is. We don't always know, and we don't always get it right. Do any of you guys remember Maths Paper 1, Question 7 on binomials, right?
You remember.
Nobody could quite get that right answer. But hopefully, despite this, we all tried to get the method marks. 1 point for recognizing it's a binomial distribution, another point for distributing, another point for solving for n. And similarly, in life, if you know what the right thing to do is, hopefully the approach will lead you to the correct answer.
I'd like to think that's no insignificant part of just being a person in the world, living your life. Even when you have no idea what the true answer is, you still try to get the method marks? You can tell we've just had our exams, right? And so maybe it's still a slightly unpleasant image, but I kind of imagine this little spiritual examiner in our hearts silently checking the method marks for all the times that we try our best and we don't succeed. So maybe the economy doesn't grow that day, but you do. And in the end, even if you know what the right thing to do is, it's an empty gesture unless you truly understand why it's the right thing. For example, charity work is great, but if you spent a year raising funds for a cause that you didn't truly feel committed to, well, yeah, the money's there, so the people who need to benefit do benefit. But what changes the world ultimately, I think, is not so much money, but mentalities. Often mentalities with money, but definitely mentalities before money. Because just throwing money at a problem without using your heart and your brain is like hauling water out of a boat instead of patching up the hole at the bottom. We're still sinking.
Over the years, I've become very attached to this building and the people in it, some of whom have been with me for the entire journey. And I think we both would like to just thank all the people that are the reason, really, that we're here today and why we've gotten this far. So thank you very much. It's become like a second home to me, really, and it hasn't fully struck me yet that I won't be coming back in August. At the same time, however, it does feel right to be moving on. And on and on and on, and it goes on and on and on.
I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, singing ayo, gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, singing ayo, baby let's go. Cause we gon' rock this club, we gon' go all night, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Cause I told you once, and I told you twice, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. So anyway, yeah, me and Oscar, have been at this school for 14 years each. So, if you put us together, that's 28 years of schooling. So together, we've already been to university, done our master's, PhD, ooh la la, wish this house up all over my head. And we're like, what, 30-something? What blows my mind is thinking, what is that person doing right now? Are they looking forward? Are they looking back to today? Are they firmly rooted in whatever their present is, or all of these, or I don't know, no idea. That's the fun part. It's impossible to know what we're going to be like, or what life's going to be like at that point, and we probably have even less of an idea now than we think we do. But you know, don't get me wrong, we're not saying that whatever dreams or plans you have right now just aren't going to happen. Why shouldn't they happen? We live now in a materialistic world of cold pragmatism that needs a bit more idealism. Because we're not just about what job we have, what university we went to, how many IB or AP points or certificates we got, or whether we never handed in a homework assignment since the 7th grade. I'm more than that. He's more than that. You're more than that. And pretty soon, a lot more people are going to find out that we're more than that. So, it looks like we've come to the end of our little speech. And if you slept through absolutely everything we were saying or just zoned off, that's all right. I'm not offended. What about him? I'm not offended. It's cool. But I guess just on behalf of us both, just like to leave you, class 2012, on one little note. This hat, man. This hat. And I'm just going to keep my hand here. Okay, sailor. And that is that, okay, if we never see you again, or if we get hit by a bus tomorrow, or if the world ends before we see 2013, as we all know that it will, right? Yeah, don't doubt it. Take your lives. Thank you. Take your lives seriously. Take your dreams seriously. But that doesn't mean you have to take yourselves all that seriously. I mean, come on. Look at us. We look pretty ridiculous. And I like that. Long live the ridiculous.